What's up, guys? It's Mr. AJ. I'm going to take us through how to shoot a basketball today. We're going to get through the basic keys, and then towards the end of the video, we're going to do some more advanced work. But first, just start off with the basic keys. Now, the basic keys in shooting a basketball, for me, I'm a right-hander, is going to be, and this will be for lefties too, but I'm going to show most of my right hand through this video. So it'll be your elbow, your wrist, and your fingers. It's all one motion. I'll take us through that. So first, starting with our elbow right here. So with your elbow, when you're trying to shoot a basketball, you want to make sure that your elbow is underneath your platform of the basketball. So obviously you can see my wrist is underneath the basketball. We'll get to that in a minute. But you want to make sure your elbow is in line underneath it. You don't want to get it out here like this, or you kind of got a chicken wing with it as you're shooting like this. It's hard to shoot well that way. You also don't want to get it too far in, because that'll make it tough for you to guide the ball in the right direction. So you want to get it underneath you, and then place your left hand guide hand here, or if you're a lefty, your right hand, whichever your off hand is that you're not shooting it with, you'll put it on the side of the ball, and that'll be your guide hand. But make sure you keep that elbow underneath. Another important thing to focus on with the elbow, I'll show us a demonstration here in a minute on the main hoop, is that you want to make sure you're pushing up with your elbow rather than out. So when you're shooting, you want to push up, get it up, rather than out. You want to get, the higher your arc is, the better your chances are of getting the ball in the basket. It's harder to shoot. I'll demonstrate. What you want it to look like, up. Whereas you don't want it to look like it's out. Make sure that motion of up rather than out. The second part of our keys of basic training, or basic shooting, excuse me, is our wrists right here. So as you get older, I know for the younger kids, most of our power is going to be generated from us throwing it up there. But as you get older, you want most of your power on your shot to come from your wrist, the flick of your wrist. So, like I had mentioned in the elbow a little bit, you want your wrist underneath the ball the same way that your elbow's underneath it right here. You want to leave a little bit of breathing room right there, but you want to make sure it's back enough to where you can snap it through. So you want to snap it through and flick the wrist at the peak of your release. So I'll back up a little bit so you can see it. So if I was to shoot it, I go up like this, really flick my wrist at the top of my shot. Top of my shot, I'm flicking my wrist. So again, what that would look like, right here, at the top. All right, the last portion of the 3 keys that I have for you in basic shooting is your fingers. So, I don't know if you noticed earlier, I didn't shoot the ball like this with the ball on my palm like this, and I didn't shoot it like this with it on my fingertips. You have less control that way. Similar to the way we do in dribbling, you want to have the ball on the palms, on the pads of our fingers, excuse me, so like here, here. Not here, not here, here. A little bit of breathing room on the bottom right there. And same type of thing. Now, one thing we do want to do with our fingers as well is when we shoot the ball, we want to hold our follow through, point our fingers towards where we're shooting. When you put it all together, it should look something like this. Wrist, fingertips at the top. Just like that. And lastly, getting into rhythm in your shooting. This is important for all shooters, but you can really start focusing more on your rhythm once you have all the mechanics of your shot down. So, when you're good with your elbow, wrist, fingers, and your feet are feeling good, the next thing to focus on, you just want it to become muscle memory. So you want to get in a good rhythm as you're shooting the ball. You want to get in a good rhythm, and it starts with your feet. It starts with your feet. So for me, what it looks like is I'll get a catch, 1, 2. Some people prefer to shoot like this, just have their foot back and step through to it. That's good too. It's harder for me personally to get rhythm that way, but it works. If you have a good rhythm with it, it works. I still shoot that way sometimes, but for me, it's easiest to get a rhythm this way, or you can step into your shot, get a rhythm in a hop step. Just make sure it's a fluid motion. So what that will look like when you put it all together with the basic mechanics as well as the advanced teachings with your feet and your rhythm is something like this. And that is how to shoot a basketball with Mr. AJ. Thank you guys.